What's up, fellow Seahawks? It's Peyton Goodwin here, and we have a lot to cover in this edition of Seahawks Central Sports.
That's right, Peyton. We're covering everything from men and women's tennis to softball, baseball, and men's basketball. Well, that's a lot of sports. I'm Betsy and Payton. Let's just get started. Your UNCW women's tennis took on ECU's Pirates this past weekend. They were looking to snap their 6-match losing streak, but turns out they just added another L to their less than amazing resume. Meanwhile, the Hawks were without their number 1, Madara Strom, so number 3, Maddie Muller-Hughes, and number 5, Sandra Faulkner, led the attack with the 2 victories for the home team.
The Lady Hawks are now 0-7 on the season, and we hope and pray they can redeem themselves in Durham, North Carolina on Friday against NC Central. Your men's tennis team came to the weekend running a hot 5-match winning streak after beating Coastal Carolina 4-3 earlier in the week. On Saturday, they looked to extend the streak to 6 against the Longwood Lancers right at our very own UNCW tennis courts. The match started out strong for the Hawks as they swept the field in doubles matches. Andres Torres and Michael Morphy gave UNCW an early advantage with a 6-1 victory for the first match of the day, while Rafael Calzi and Ignacio de Rueda barely edged their matchup 6-4.
Next, at number 3 in singles, Agustin Severino dominated his opponent 6-1 in straight sets, while Andreas Torres was also dominating in his singles match, winning 6-2 and 6-0. To clinch their 6th straight victory, Michael Morphy did it in a storybook fashion by shutting out his opponent 6-0 in straight sets. Also, sophomore Michael Copeland is the only undefeated Seahawk on the roster through the first 7 matches of the season, making him this week's Seahawks Central Sports Beast of the Week. In to see if the Seahawks can keep that winning streak alive up to 7 against CAA rival Elon this upcoming weekend. Good job, Seahawks. Make sure to keep that streak alive. But the tennis courts were not the only popular spot this past weekend. Newly renovated Boseman Field was also a hot spot, and Sarah Tamer's over there with more.
Boseman Field was the place to be this weekend as the Seahawks hosted the Seahawks Softball Classic, where they hosted Bucknell, Maine, and Longwood Universities. Friday's matchup was against the Black Bears of Maine, where Riley Pate and Dominique Travers led the Hawks in the circle, combining for only 6 hits. Travers pulled weight on the offensive side of the field as well, jacking a 2-run homer to secure a 3-1 victory over their American East opponent. Next up was Longwood University on both Friday and Saturday, where the Hawks split with the Lancers. In Friday's loss, first baseman Emily Landcamp got the bats going, contributing 2 hits in the 3-1 loss. But they bounced back in the rematch the next day. Regardless of the Lancers' 9 hits, they only produced 2 runs. Senior shortstop Kelsey Bryan led the offense, going 3 for 3 to even the weekend record at 2-2. It came down to the final day where the Bucknell Bison handed the Hawks their first shutout of the season. It looked to be a late rally in the 5th inning, but the Hawks could not get a clutch hit and ended up leaving 3 runners on base. Seahawks softball will travel to Auburn this spring break weekend, where they will see how they stack up against SEC, SoCon, and Summit opponents. From Boseman Field for Seahawks Central Sports, I'm Sarah Tamer. Now to Brooks with an update for baseball.
It was a beautiful weekend for a UNCW baseball triple-header as the Appalachian State Mountaineers came to Brooks Field for a showdown. Friday's matchup was low-scoring, but UNCW blanked the Mountaineers, winning 2-0 with Clark Cota, Alex Royalty, and Austin Easter on the mound. Saturday's game was a battle of the bats, as the Hawks desperately tried to catch up to the Mountaineers' impressive 11 hits led by Kenna McGowan and Bailey Welch. UNCW's David Schaefer had a double and a homer, but it wasn't enough as the Hawks took a 6-2 loss to App. On Sunday, the Hawks were looking for a revenge and to close out the weekend on a high. They got just that, going into extra innings. In the 10th inning, with the bases loaded, App State's pitcher threw 3 straight balls in a 1-1 count to walk in LP Oxdine for the winning score, and the Hawks became kings of the mountain in a 2-1 victory. They closed the homestand with a 2-1 record. This spring break, the Hawks are hitting the books and hosting Ivy Leaguers Princeton for a 4-game stretch from March 2nd to the 4th at Brooksfield. If anyone is still in town, go show your support. This is Jourdan Nickel for Seahawks Central Sports. Go Hawks.
Thanks, Jordan. The brackets have been set after a nail-biting win against Drexel this past weekend, 83-82, and your men's basketball team is set to play in the 6th seed against Hofstra March 4th in the CAA quarterfinals. Way to go, Seahawks. Do us proud.
If you can't make it to Charleston for the CAA tournament, no worries. You can follow our Twitter and keep up with all the action and updates that we have for you. But remember, we do not have an episode next week because of spring break, so I hope you guys have fun. And I'm Peyton Goodwin.
And I'm Betsy and Payton. Remember to be real, keep it teal. Bye, guys.